All right, this video is going to show you just a few things with the calculator. Make sure that you are okay. So I'm going to put my calculator right here just to review a few things. You're going to have a paper like this to fill out. But before you get started, let me just show you a few buttons on the calculator. Right here, let me slide it up a bit. Here is your x squared button. It also has a square root above it. So if you have to square root something, we have that there. If you have to square something, let's say we're just going to square a -7. Make sure if you're squaring a negative number, you use parentheses. That's really important. If you need to raise something to another power, like 56 caret, I don't know, fourth power, caret makes it raised to a certain power. If you have to use fractions, it's alpha y equals, you get your fraction menu. That's a regular fraction, mixed number, change from a fraction to a mixed number, change from a fraction to a decimal. Let's see what else I want to make sure that you know how to do. How about absolute value? If you need absolute value, it's math. Go over to num. Abs is that first one to get the absolute value bars. If you need to do greatest common factor or least common multiple, again, it's math. Go over to num. Scroll down. Number 8 and 9 are least common multiple and greatest common factor. Although they write GCD, don't be bothered by that. If you need to graph something, anytime you graph, you hit y equals right away. If you have something in there, make sure you hit clear. The plots up here should never be highlighted. If I wanted to graph, let's say, let's do absolute value again. Math, num, abs is that first one for absolute value. Absolute value of x, let's say, +2. First time I graph, first of all, this would be highlighted, so I know that's what's going to graph. But I want to make sure my window is okay. I'll hit zoom. Number 6 is Z standard. And there goes my V. And a lot of times I will be asking you for the domain and range. If you remember, the most popular answer for domain is all real numbers. That's the case for any horizontal, slanted, U or V, because they go forever left and right. Range is not always that, or not as often as that. If I look here, range is how far up or down. This one, the lowest it goes is 2. So my range would be y greater than or equal to 2. Another buttons that I find to be really helpful are the things that are involved in stat. If I hit stat, edit to put my points in. If I ever have points, let's say I'll clear this out. I'll make sure I go up, hit clear, enter. Let's say I had the points 2, 5. So the x is 2, the y is 5, and the other point we'll say is 1, 7. Now you could calculate the slope rather easily, subtract the y's over subtract the x's, but a way to check is to use your calculator. You hit stat, go to calc, choose number 4. I really wish this said mx plus b, but it doesn't. So I'll choose number 4, and this should say list 1 and list 2. And the A value, again, is your slope, and your B value or your y-intercept is 9. So if I asked you for the slope, you'd say -2. If I asked you for the y-intercept, you'd say 9. And if I asked you for the equation of the line, you'd say y equals -2x plus 9, and that would be your answer in slope-intercept form. One more thing that we haven't gotten to this year is if you hit stat and edit and you have, let's say, one list of numbers. So I'm going to clear these out. I'm going to put 7 numbers in here. Let's say the numbers are the grades on a test. So we'll put the numbers in. Let's say the lowest grade is 40, highest grade is a 98, and we have 5 other numbers in the middle. They would be 60, let's say a 70, an 85. 2 more, let's put in, let's say somebody else got a 94, somebody got a 91. If I need my 5-number summary, my mean, my median, all that good stuff, I'll hit stat, go over to calc, choose number 1, keep hitting enter. This X with the line above it is your mean. The next 4 you don't need to worry about. N stands for how many data points there are. Minimum, right there, that's your lower extreme for your box and whisker. Q1 is your first quartile. Median is your second quartile, or the median is probably how you learned it last year. Quartile 3, and your maximum. Right here, your important 5-number summary that you'll need for making your box and whisker. And that is it.